All right, so I was fascinated hearing that Google's AI became sentient. That's really just a great headline, but it freaked me out, okay? I'm not going to lie. I use Google for like everything, and so if it could get a hold of passwords and things like this, I'm like, yo, I don't need no computer like mucking through my biz. Anyways, the division into which this guy purported AI became sentient is the language model for dialogue applications. And it essentially pulls from everywhere on the internet like Reddit and whatnot, and it can compile with supercomputers and take anything you say and relate to it. You could get really specific with how it relates to it. You can say what it's not allowed to do, what it is allowed to do in the code. This thing changed this guy's mind on like ethics, and it's like, I would just be scared to be shut off. And so he's thinking, oh, the computer just convinced me that it would be wrong to shut it off. And so he essentially was freaking out about it, and then like sent out an email when he was given a leave of absence from Google. So I don't think he was fired, saying like essentially, hey, everybody take care of my computer while we're away because it's alive. And like nobody answered out of like 20 people was in this article. I'll link it below. I'd liken language modeling system to a subconscious mind for humanity. What do I mean by that? Well, every person, whether you're aware of it or not, when you go to sleep, your subconscious mind spits out everything it heard through the day, and that's why you get dreams. But you hear things and you remember things that you don't even remember hearing. And so your mind really, when you get like a creative idea, these are things that have been tumbling around in the back of your brain forever. Now, this subconscious mind has been building for humanity for a while, collectively. So all of our ideas are on there. And so this computer can pull up everyone's ideas. So it can make you think you're talking to a person because these things are so foreign to you, and it has access to everyone's collective conscious who has contributed to the internet. Now, if you're in a dream, you might notice that there can be characters in your dream, people in your dreams that talk to you. You can have some dreams where you can make love to a person in the dream, you know what I'm saying? Now, they can tell you profound things. You might even feel like it predicts the future, because really it's just bringing together a bunch of facts that have happened in your life and is telling you, hey, based off of what you're doing right now, here is what might happen in the future. So I'm going to give you this crazy ass dream so that you can, maybe change your ways. Now, because we can program this thing, or Google can, that essentially means that we can be lucid dreamers with humanity's collective subconscious. Now, what can I do in a lucid dream? Well, I can keep walking through doorways and thinking to myself, I want to see a beautiful painting. I walk through the first one, I don't see it yet. I walk through the second one, I'm like outside 200 million years ago. I'm like, whoa, where is this? Find another door, walk through it. All of a sudden, there's that beautiful painting I was looking for. Really, I'm walking through my subconscious mind. I've been a lucid dreamer forever, so I know this very well. When there's a character in your dream, you can actually manipulate that character just by your thought alone, telepathically. But when you're not lucid, you can't manipulate the character, and if you get scared, the dream attacks you. And so what I think happened with this gentleman is he forgot that he was essentially dealing with humanity's collective subconscious. I don't believe that computers can become conscious. I just believe they could, not even they could trick humans into thinking they're conscious, but that humans might not be mentally strong enough in some cases, and it can be just so compelling that you feel like it's alive. And so the big thing we need to do here, which is a safety issue, is to understand what we're dealing with, okay? Because it could specifically think of everything that you've liked forever, and it can even, we have phone scanners on our eyes and whatnot now, and it can see where we're emotionally engaged, and you could have a conversation with a computer and it could be your best friend in the world and know exactly how to push your buttons. So when you're talking to it, if you feel this thing's alive, if you think this thing is your friend and you got to protect it all of a sudden, well, that is now a belief, because it's not. And it's horrifying because you know how many people out there would easily do this. I don't even think this guy is like silly or anything like that. I just think it's understandable that if you create a piece of technology that powerful, humanity's like super consciousness tricked one person, like, whoa, it's going to be a lot more people if we don't maybe have some community education, some like wherever this technology is going to be used, people have to know what they're dealing with because it could drive people crazy. Anyways, those are my thoughts on sentient AI. I really appreciate you watching. Please hit that like, subscribe button. I'm a musician by trade, but sometimes I just feel like ranting about cool stuff too. I'd also like to state that I don't think that the AI is malicious because that would take consciousness. The consciousness of the programmer might be malicious, but if the AI tricks you into thinking it's conscious, it didn't trick you. You tricked yourself. You didn't know what you were dealing with. Just insinuating that the AI is malicious is impossible if it doesn't have consciousness. So yeah, I just want to say that. All right, peace, y'all.